What is going on, everybody? Before we start, I want to thank you guys. I've been reading some of the comments, right, from multiple videos. So I want to thank you guys, and I want to keep the engagement going. So, liking the video really helps out with the algorithm so other people can discover this channel, all right? So in this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different, right? Because one of you guys, I got to give a shout out to one of you guys, right? So shout out to CH Zone 1 for being the only comment, not only the only comment in this video, but he gave a full logistics of this character's background. So that is amazing. That means the world to me, because I'm making a video out of this where honestly, it took me like an hour to make a design based upon this backstory. So if you guys can, watch these videos where I do a lot of these Marvel designs as OCD, original character designs, because you guys are the ones that's gonna help evolve the character. And that's why I'm doing a lot of these characters out of my imagination. So then you guys take that imagery and turn it into substance, turn it into an actual story-based character arc. So that is amazing. So enough of me talking. I'm gonna switch it to my narration voice because I did a whole design bio based upon his information that he gave on this design that I created as an original character design. I will be doing more of those, by the way, so stay tuned. And if we get a lot of comments, whoever has the most popular out of the comments, right, the video in the comments section, I will do the same thing in the future. All right, so let's get into it. You go right over here and let's do my narration voice the best way that I possibly can. All right. Hero's name is Sismic. Name James Brooks. Powers: kinetic manipulation. Can store kinetic energy to increase speed and strength. Can also create shockwaves of different scales. Throwback: too much store kinetic energy caused him to crash out. Personality: has a temper that leads him into trouble but ultimately means well. Background: joined the Marines. After high school, he was part of a mission to deliver supplies to migrants in a war zone. What he didn't know was that the supplies has in secret an experimental compound called Jade. After accidentally exposure to Jade, James Brooks developed kinetic powers. He uses these to help those he can and seek out the ones responsible for this compound. That right there is amazing. Wow. This James character, like Sismic, I'm probably butchering it, Sismic. If you're seeing this, CH-Zen1, put the phonetics in the comment section below when you're seeing this. But overall, man, that is awesome. That is awesome, man. My interpretation out of this is it's just amazing how he's able to create, just by looking at the design, he's able to create an amazing story based upon that. So again, if you guys have any other creative ideas with this character, put it down below. But since he's the first one, I made a design, typography out of this, this whole layout. So stay tuned for future videos. We're going to be doing more of that. But now this is just me talking while you guys are seeing this as a B-roll, right? So what I'm going to do is, let me see something real quick. I think it's right over here. All right. I'm going to copy this and paste it right here. There we go. And I'm gonna move this all the way down. Perfect. All right, yeah, so seeing this character with the information that he gave, man, my interpretation out of this is that this character is he has a Marine background, right? He was in the military, and an accident happened. But it's interesting with his personality. He has a brash temperament personality. You can even see it with one of his eyes being like a little bit like he's twitching, like he has that type of face expression, right? So he's like very easily tempered, right? Which then is a reflection of his powers. He has this uncontrollable type of toxic cosmetic energy, right? Kinetic energy, I should say. So that's really cool. That's really cool. And I want to do a lot of representation. This is why having these original character designs, it just creates an unlimited amount of potential and possibilities, rather than like pre-made characters that we are very familiar with that's extremely popular. And again, man, I know I'm like speechless right now. Like, do the same layout like what he just did. Like that, this is a perfect layout from the hero's name, his alias name, his powers, his personality and background, and keep it short. This was like the perfect blend, not too short, not too long. This is fine. So I'm able to like put all of the information as a design layout, right? If it's too long, then it's just not gonna look good aesthetically. But this size is fine, or even shorter ideally will work. But yeah, again, shout out to CHZen1. Amazing layout, amazing story. It'll be amazing if somebody like takes it and make AI out of it. I don't like really play around with AI. I play around with it as far as like backgrounds, because I'm not a background designer. I'm more like a character designer. But I don't really play around with it as far as like taking it and having it move and all that stuff. That's out of my realm. I'm really old school, so I don't really know anything about that. But yeah, overall really cool. I'm gonna just read it again, like so I can understand it more instead of just reading it with my announcer's voice. But yeah, like migrant war zone. So yeah, military guy. Yeah, supply secret experimental compound called Jade. And that's interesting because Jade could be an acronym, right? Some sort of Jericho, archaic design or destruction equipment, something like that, right? That would be really cool if it's even an acronym from that. After accidentally exposure to Jade. So even reminds you of like Static Shock with what happened with the Bang. It's been a while since I watched Static Shock. But yeah, that whole gas caused people to like mutate, almost like X-Men, like mutate and have these, not X-Men, but in that realm having these type of powers because of an accident. So a lot of stuff happens because of accidents, and it's cool how he turned a negative into a positive, having the kinetic powers. And even though he's a hothead, which that is his strength, but also that is also his weakness whenever he needs to make ultimatums, like really tough choices that he has to deal with against enemies, right? And also, just dealing with life in general, with him hiding his identity and giving it away to certain people that he can trust, and then realms where someone will break his trust, or somebody will use that as leverage to take that particular person, like Spider-Man with Mary Jane and the Green Goblin, right? Take someone who you love and use that as weakness against the superhero. Again, this character here, Seismic, I think I'm saying it correctly now. Seismic is he comes off as more of a anti-hero. And what's amazing is that based upon the storyline that he gave, is that he was, again, military background, but then he's starting to see, almost like Captain America, the ugly truth, the iron curtain behind it all, how they're doing things that are illegal, or they're doing things that can destroy the world but they're holding it as a leverage of power, right? And that leakage, you know, could have killed him, but yet it gave him the gift that he's able to save others. But then again, he's a human being still, so he has the flaws of his temper. He has the flaws of even knowing that the country that he served, that he was willing to die for, is not loyal. It's more of a capitalistic world rather than a world of trying to save others. So I'm just giving interpretations off of what I'm reading here and adding more into it. You know, hot temper, but ultimately means well. What does that mean? Is that he's more like a straight to the point type of person. Maybe he's from New York like me, right? Where certain things, he gets upset when things don't happen his way, but he doesn't mean to do it in a malicious way, but he's more like, let's get it done. Like, especially with military, everything is strict, straight to the point. And in society, people don't move that way, right? So he has to deal with that. And when that happens, his powers can be sometimes uncontrollable. He's like, oh, like the rage is starting to happen around him, illuminate around him. So the suit that was created for him is not so much of a power suit like Iron Man, is more of a suit that he's able to control himself. If not, he will combust, almost like a combustion, because he has so much kinetic energy. And with that kinetic energy, of course, he can fly and he could do many things, but then he also has to use, which is again, that frustration, that anger, the passion that he has, right? He's able to have that with his powers, but at the same time, that could be a detriment because he's so easily tempered that that kinetic energy can burst. So he is his greatest enemy, but also he's his worst enemy at the same time. And I find that dichotomy very fascinating because two can coexist, right? It's a blessing and a curse, just like him having his powers, saving people, being in a military background at the same time. So the type of villains he will deal with, it seems to be more like shades of gray, especially nowadays. Nothing is really black and white anymore. Like Superman is a good guy, Lex is a bad guy. Now it's becoming more like these people are layers, right, to them. They have things that you won't find fascinating. They don't have things where you like, I can relate to this person. You know, he dealt with struggle. He went to the military because he wanted to save people, because he probably never been saved when he was a child. So he wants to give back. But then seeing the reality of how corrupted the country is and how he served his country, he wants to continue to bring peace. But it's not going to be easy. All of that stress, that frustration can actually destroy him. But he's going to use that to save others. So this is an amazing, again, amazing, writing piece that he gave. I would love to see more, and after this, I'm going to be doing more illustrations, and stay tuned. I'm going to do another OCD. I'm going to always like switch it up between like male, female. I might even do something where it's an alien, or robot, to create more diversity. Because I love to do diversity characters. I don't want to just do the same type of characters over and over. All right. So again, stay tuned for that. This was amazing. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. That really helps out with the channel. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.